and it means you're Hi, my name is Daria. Welcome to Scrum Master, the video series where I give you practical tips on how to build awesome teams. In today's video, I wanted to talk about traits that a Scrum Master should have in order to be successful and in order to enjoy this role. I feel that a lot of times you can work on your knowledge and you can develop the skills that are needed for the job, but if you do not have the right type of personality, you cannot really succeed in the job really well and you will not really enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, if a Scrum Master is enjoying the role, if they're enjoying working with their teams, they will be able to bring better results. Another thing is that personality and your personal traits come with you. This is something that is more embedded in you and it is more difficult to change rather than acquiring new skills and new knowledge. So if you have the right type of personality, then it will be so much more easier for you to be successful faster. It doesn't really mean that you have to have those traits in order to get into the role, but you should be willing to actually work on them in order to develop in this role. In the same way, Agile is a mindset, I think that Scrum Master role is a personality. So in this video, I wanted to highlight 4 traits that I personally feel can differentiate between an okay Scrum Master and an amazing Scrum Master. Number 1, great Scrum Masters care for others. It's a type of role where you should really think mostly about your team, about how can you make things better for your team, the process is better, how can you solve the challenges that they cannot solve on their own. It's never really about elevating yourself, it's more about elevating your team. Obviously, if your team is doing great, it means they're building great products and your stakeholders are happy. It comes back to you as a Scrum Master because you were able to empower this team to be successful. Number 2, great Scrum Masters are people persons. A lot of the time you spend in the Scrum Master role, you actually spend communicating with others, whether it's within your team, coaching your team members, or outside of your team with the management or other teams around you in order to create communication channels. So if you're not really enjoying this part where you need to spend a lot of time with people, then maybe in the Scrum Master role you will not be as happy. So it doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert. It just means that you should be comfortable spending time with people. You can still have your alone time in order to recover, but just be ready to spend a lot of your time with other people and talking with other people, having discussions and sometimes debates about Scrum and Agile. Number 3, great Scrum Masters are patient. And this is, I think, one of the most important ones. Why? Because as a Scrum Master, you're bringing change into people's lives and the people's ways of working. Obviously, since you care for others, you want to bring positive changes as fast as possible. But if you're pushing too much change on people, they are more resistant to it. So when I say that Scrum Masters should be patient, is they should look for small victories, for small things that they can improve rather than making a huge change in people's ways of working. When you're working in a Scrum Master role, a lot of times you would see that your ideas might be rejected and it's okay. That's where the patience comes in, where you need to come back with new ideas and new suggestions and always look for ways to help others understand how small improvements can make a big deal in their ways of working. Number 4, great Scrum Masters are curious. Since you need to look for new ways to improve and new ideas to bring to your team, you should be curious enough to look for those ways. There is no one perfect way to improve the processes and to improve team dynamics and motivation. If you have enough curiosity, you will actually enjoy looking for this. going outside, reading up on new books and articles. I spend a lot of my workday looking for new ways to improve, for new practices, something that I have not thought about, that I can bring into my team for great improvements, and I really enjoy this part. Being curious and being willing to learn new things, not only about the processes themselves, but about people around you, will help you be more successful faster. Those are the 4 traits that I think are really important for a Scrum Master to become successful and to really enjoy this role. As always, I hope you learned something new about the Scrum Master role and Agile in general. Now, I would like to hear from you. Think about that. What traits do you think can differentiate between an okay Scrum Master and an amazing Scrum Master? And do you actually think that traits are more important than skills and knowledge in a Scrum Master role? Head down to scrummaster.com and leave a comment so that we can have a great discussion about awesome Scrum Masters. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. Cheers and Scrum on!